Welcome to the Midnight Street.
The Last Melody. Part 3, The Last Note. Vincent did not move for a long time. The room held him. The quiet held him. The presence of the price held him most of all. He sat in the chair with his hands on his knees, and the record at the end of its groove, and the full weight of what the price was asking sitting in the room with him like a third occupant. He knew what it wanted. He understood it completely. Lily, everything associated with her, every memory, every sound, every morning and every evening, and every ordinary moment that had accumulated between them across the years of knowing her. The muse beneath the lover, the source beneath the music. Gone, or his talent, the genius that had filled concert halls, the ability that critics had named, and audiences had come from considerable distances to experience. The thing that had defined him before Lillian would, theoretically, remain after her. He sat with both options. The record waited. Then, the room changed. Not the walls, not the lamp, not the record player beside him. The air. Something arrived in the air of the room, a shift in the quality of the quiet, a presence asserting itself in the space between the end of the music and whatever came next. Vincent looked up. She was standing at the far edge of the lamp's light. Lily, or something wearing Lily. She was exactly as he remembered her and entirely wrong simultaneously. The specific contradiction of something familiar that has passed through a process that familiarity cannot account for. Her face was her face. The green dress, the one she had worn to the concert, the one he had told her was his favorite, hung from her exactly as it had that night. But the light did not touch her correctly. It moved through her in places. In her eyes were the eyes of something that had been waiting in a specific kind of dark for a very long time, and had not come through the waiting unchanged. Vincent, she said. Her voice, complete and specific and exactly as he remembered it, and wrong in the same way the light was wrong, present and not entirely present simultaneously. Vincent could not speak. You heard me, she said. Lily, you heard what I said. She stepped closer. The lamp light moved through her at the edges. I was right, she said, not with anger, with the quiet certainty of someone who has had a long time to arrive at a conclusion and is no longer interested in debating it. You knew. You looked away because looking was inconvenient. I didn't know what he would do to you, Vincent said. No, Lily agreed, but you knew enough and you chose the concert. She stopped moving, stood at the edge of the light, looking at him with those wrong eyes. I am giving you a chance, she said. Vincent frowned. You can still choose me, she said. You can still acknowledge what you did, what your silence cost. She paused. Give up the one thing you have left, the talent, the genius, the thing that filled those concert halls while I was falling. Her voice did not waver. Give it up, acknowledge what you owe me, and I will be at peace. Vincent looked at her, at the green dress, at the face he had been forgetting by degrees, at the eyes that were wrong in ways he could not fully look at directly. If I give up my talent, he said quietly, there is nothing left of me. There was nothing left of me either, Lily replied. The silence that followed was the heaviest thing in the room. Vincent looked at the record on the player, at the groove the needle rested in, at the dark crimson sleeve on the table. I can't, he said, quietly, almost to himself, almost apologetically, as though the smallness of the delivery might reduce the size of the choice. Lily looked at him for a long moment. The wrong eyes, the light moving through her at the edges. Then, she smiled, It was the most frightening thing Vincent had ever seen. Not because it was monstrous, because it was hers. Exactly hers. The specific smile he had loved for years. Wearing something behind it that the smile she had been alive had never worn. "All right," she said softly. "Vincent." He looked at her. "I'll find you," she said. Then she was gone. The room was simply a room again. The lamp, the chair, the record player, the quiet. Vincent sat still for a moment, then reached for the record, removed it from the player, slid it back into the dark crimson sleeve. He looked at it for a moment, then stood and made his choice. He came down the stairs with the record under his arm and the particular expression of someone who has been through something significant and is currently processing it at a depth below conscious articulation. Elias and Oliver were at the counter. Oliver with his coffee, Elias with his composure. Both looked toward Vincent as he descended, or rather, Oliver looked and Elias oriented. "Well," Elias said pleasantly. Vincent set the record on the counter. "I've made my decision," he said. "I can see that," Elias replied. "I'm giving up the memories," Vincent said. "Everything associated with her, the grief, the guilt, all of it." He paused. "I need to be able to work again. I need the music back, without her weight on it." Elias regarded him. "And you are comfortable with that exchange?" "I think so," Vincent said. Something in his voice suggested he was not entirely sure what comfortable meant in this context, but had decided to use the word anyway. "The price will complete itself when you leave the store," Elias said. "You will carry a faint awareness of having paid something. By the time you reach your apartment, it will be finished." Vincent nodded. Elias did not move immediately. He stood behind the counter with his pale blue eyes directed at the middle distance and his gloved hands resting on the surface and the particular quality of stillness that meant he was deciding something. "Mr. Arden," he said. Vincent looked at him. "I will offer you something," Elias said. "Once. I will not offer it twice, and I will not explain why I am offering it." He paused. "There is another price the record will accept, in place of the memories." Vincent waited. "Your soul," Elias said, "offered willingly, captured in the record. In exchange," he gestured toward the sleeve on the counter, "Lily is released from whatever she has become inside it, whatever the record has made of her grief and her ending, released completely." The store was very quiet. Oliver was looking at the counter surface, with the expression of a man who has decided that his role in the next 60 seconds is purely observational. "You're saying," Vincent said slowly, "that Lily is in there." "I am saying," Elias replied carefully, "that what the record found in you and what it found when it found her is in there, and that there is a price that releases it. And the price is my soul." "Yes." But Vincent looked at the record, at the dark crimson sleeve, at the silver lettering. Twilight Waltz. He thought about the room upstairs, about the green dress, about the wrong eyes, about the smile she had given him before she disappeared. He thought about his apartment, about the piano, about the silence that had lasted 11 months, and the music that waited somewhere on the other side of it. "No," he said, quietly, simply, the same register as the choice upstairs. Elias was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled, the warm, genuine smile, the one that was real and also contained other things that were equally real. "Interesting," he said softly. "You chose the same way twice," he added, "in 2 different rooms with 2 different framings." He tilted his head slightly. "The consistency is remarkable." "Is that supposed to mean something?" Vincent asked. "Most things mean something," Elias replied pleasantly. Whether the meaning is useful depends on when you receive it. He picked up the record from the counter, held it for a moment, then held it out toward Oliver. Oliver took it, looked at the sleeve. His expression changed slightly. The change of someone who has handled something many times and has detected a difference in it that they were not expecting. "It's heavier," Oliver said quietly. "Yes," Elias agreed. "The sleeve feels," Oliver turned it slightly in his hands, "different." "Also, yes." Oliver looked at him. "What did it?" "The record," Elias said, "received what it needed, as it always does." He glanced briefly toward the staircase leading upward. "Mr. Arden's particular contribution has enhanced it somewhat. Grief of that specific variety, genuine love combined with genuine culpability combined with the choice to preserve oneself regardless, is not common. The record appreciates the rarity." Oliver looked at Vincent. Vincent looked at the record in Oliver's hands. "What does that mean?" Vincent asked. "It means," Elias said, "that the record is slightly more itself than it was this morning." He smiled again. "Which is good for the record." He left the rest of the sentence unfinished. In the specific way of someone who considers the rest of the sentence the listener's problem. Vincent picked up his coat from the stool. "I should go," he said. "You should," Elias agreed. "The memories will be gone by the time I get home." "Yes, and I'll be able to work again." "Almost certainly." Vincent nodded. He moved toward the entrance, paused at the door. "Thank you," he said. He was not entirely sure what he was thanking Elias for. Elias appeared to find this the most amusing thing that had happened all evening. "Of course, Mr. Arden," he said warmly. "Do come back." The silver bell rang overhead as the door opened. Vincent stepped out onto Midnight Street. The door closed behind him. The store was quiet again. Oliver looked at the record in his hands, then at Elias. "You knew what she had become," Oliver said. It was not a question. "Yes," Elias said. "And you didn't tell him?" "No." "And the offer of his soul was genuine," Elias said, "in the sense that I would have honored it if he had accepted." He moved along the counter with the unhurried ease of someone returning to the normal order of things. I was curious what he would choose. He chose consistently. He picked up his coffee cup. That is, in its own way, a form of integrity. Oliver stared at him. "He is going to." "Yes," Elias said. "And each time he plays." "Yes." "And she is all ready." "Also yes." Oliver looked at the record in his hands one more time, then carefully, very carefully placed it in his case. "You are," Oliver said, "genuinely terrible." "I am genuinely interested," Elias replied. "There is a distinction." He smiled. "Warm, real, containing other things." "Give the host my regards," he said. Oliver picked up his cases and left without another word. Vincent's apartment was exactly as he had left it. The piano, the blank pages on the desk, the window with the city beyond it. The silence, except the silence was different now. Lighter, the specific lightness of a weight that has been carried so long its absence feels like a new kind of air. He stood in the center of the room, tried to remember why the piano had been difficult to look at, could not find the reason, tried to remember the name that had been the center of the grief, found only the edges of something, a shape without content, a feeling without an object, the outline of a loss that had already been vacated. He sat at the piano, placed his hands on the keys, and played. The first note arrived with the ease of something returning to its natural state after a long interruption. The second followed, then a phrase, then a melody arriving fully formed, as though it had been waiting for exactly this moment and had prepared itself thoroughly in the interim. Vincent played, and did not notice the cold that settled slowly into the room around him. Did not notice the lamp flickering once. Did not notice the quality of the silence behind the music, the specific silence of something present and still and watching. He played, each note landing with the ease of returned fluency, each note costing him something he could not perceive being taken. And behind him, at the edge of the lamplight, Lily, beautiful, terrible, the green dress, the wrong eyes, watching him play with the expression of something that has arrived exactly where it intended to arrive and is in absolutely no hurry. Her hand extended slowly toward him, not touching, not yet, simply present and waiting. The music continued, note by note, each one landing, each one taken. The lamp flickered again, and Lily smiled.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more stories.